Hello, dear friends. I am again here to share some motivational points which help you in your life. In all fairness, everyone should be alerted to an innocent sounding word which can be used to rub a raw emotional nerve with devastating effect. Some time ago, I watched and listened to a political debate on television. This debate was followed by an hour radio program during which the public was invited to telephone its comments on the debate. The telephone comments were broadcast directly so that all listeners could hear not only the spoken words but the revealing tones of voice. Anything I may have learned about the political issues debated was completely overshadowed by the revelation of an important aspect of human nature as disclosed by those telephone calls. Since you will be dealing with this same human nature all of your life, the following observations may serve as a reminder of a valuable lesson. I am sure you already know, but which warrants reviewing. Admittedly, I did not discover a new technique in dealing with people. This technique is one of the oldest, best known, and most effective. It is because of the last point that I feel it should be re emphasized. The debate itself was less than outstanding. It was characterized by an experienced politician lawyer using an aggressive courtroom manner to try to undermine the voters' confidence in the long voting record of his opponent, a distinguished senator who had served in a public office for many years. The senator countered with a calm, sincere account of his seriously considered reason for voting as he did on the issues under debate. Now, here is the important point. The senator also frequently emphasized that his opponent's accusations were unfair because he said they were untrue, inaccurate, or taken out of context. It is not the purpose of our lecture to analyze the merits or the accuracy of their side of the debate. It is the purpose to point out the result of the use of the word unfair, which was so often used by the senator to characterize the accusations and statements of his opponent. As previously mentioned, his debate was immediately followed by an hour radio program during which listeners gave their opinions of it by telephone calls broadcast directly over the radio. With few exceptions, the opponent of the senator was vehemently attacked. He was called most of the derogatory names permitted on the radio. Long distance telephone calls were made to denounce him. And note this, in almost every call, his performance in the debate was labeled unfair. All the kind of reasons were given for criticizing him, but they also stated or implied that he was unfair. The word or the idea unfair was the axis around which the criticism revolved. Frankly, the vehemence of the first few radio telephone calls rather surprised me. I had listened carefully to the debate, which was conducted with courtesy and decorum. Although they belonged to different political parties, there actually was little difference in the real political philosophies of either candidate. But later, as the telephone criticism continued to be broadcast and as more and more members of even his party expressed their outrage at the unfairness of the one candidate's conduct of the debate, I sat back to absorb a refresher course in the emotional power of the word unfair. Few words in our language are so packed with emotional power. The accusation, illegal, gives rise to the judicial weighing of legal concepts and possible legal consequences. The accusations, untrue, also causes thoughtful, though sometimes resentful consideration of the fact. But the word unfair rubs a raw emotional nerve. It builds sympathy for anyone supposedly treated unfairly, and at the same time provokes often unwarranted hostility towards whoever is allegedly to indulge in such unjust treatment of another. People will accept with some tolerance many impositions which would seem to be more offensive. But when unfairness is accused, rational judgment is abandoned or hostile emotion takes over. Instantly, there is the mental picture of the bully taking unjust advantage of the innocent underdog. This was learned by labor unions in the early days of their organization. In fact, the word unfair was so prevalent on picket signs that it used by labor unions included in the definition of unfair in the dictionary as an example of its use. The fact is that the word unfair is a push button emotional word which can be used to attract sympathy to yourself and arouse hostility towards your opponent. I'm simply pointing out a powerful psychological fact. If you choose to it, and how and to what extent you choose to engage in psychological warfare is up to you.